Hello, welcome back to the next video I'm doing here with my The Unknown Forest game. So it's the third season, it might be the last one that I do in the videos, depends what happens with this one, because it's only the Champions League that I've not won here, so there won't be much left to do. Of course, obviously try and defend the Premier League title here, but I'll just kind of recap on where we're at now. So won the treble last year, got the ground developed, 41,750 seater stadium now. So all looking good there. Not many changes in the squad. This guy Vreed stopped saying he wanted to leave, so I decided he can stay a bit as well. So players in this year, 11.25 million there. Got the Hersey and Klomp that I wanted. Brilliant keeper to bring in for £1 million there. This guy on a free transfer. And DeVio just for my other striker because I wanted to be a bit stronger for the the European squad. And 5.25 million players going out, so it's not much of a spend really. Still got a few on the transfer list that we're hoping to move on. Yeah, so I've set up a few games. We've got pre-season friendly against Newcastle here, then I've got the Charity Shield against Liverpool, and then we'll see what sort of draw we get in Europe. So I've put some offers in for some younger players, just to kind of try and beef up the reserve squad. I'm kind of running out of options there. Should I get like terrible injuries or anything like that, but there's a few young players sitting there, and I'm still trying to move on Angel Lewis here, so I'm hoping that somebody will come in for him, and that'll kind of cover what I've spent in the window then. I know he was like one of my best players last year, but I've brought this guy in who's younger and is just better, and he's going to be one of the best. So yeah, we'll set the team up here for the Newcastle game. Going to keep going with my goalie for last year because his stats are looking really good now. This guy's actually got into the Welsh international team, John Jones, so I'm just keeping him as my other backup keeper. So I'm happy with the three keepers I've got. My defence will be unchanged from last year, which is good. I've got Klompy to come in, so if I do get good money offers for Reed, I'll probably sell him and then bring somebody else in, but don't want to be selling many players once you've got your team registered for a European squad, so bearing that in mind. And I've got Hersey here. Lyndon's got a wee knock just now, so we'll have Mendonca on there. No change to the central midfielders, which I'm pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Nicky Franco, of course, player of the year last year, and then my strikers have stayed the same. Yeah, so pretty happy with the way things have been looking. And this guy's coming on to some, look like a good player here. Oh yes, I'm wondering if I should maybe go with Zagara over McCann. Yeah, pretty solid. 14 assists last year, so I will stick with McCann for now. That's fine. Yeah, so looking pretty good. And we'll see what we got on in this friendly then. So if anybody's still watching these by this stage, hats off to you. I'm hoping that we get a few views totting up, because these can sit here in the channel for a while, and hopefully we'll get some views from people that play the game as well. But I'm going to start doing some classic console games as well on here, so if anybody's got any ideas for games they'd like to see me play through from yesteryear, just leave it in the comments. Probably going to start out with like a Mario or a Sonic or something like that, just for a bit of fun really. Oh, so a wee injury, that's the thing with pre-season friendlies. Sometimes you do pick up an injury there, which isn't ideal. I've put in some offers for a few coaches as well, just because I'm able to attract kind of better quality now, so it's worth doing. But I think my squad's big enough to cope with the European run as well, so see if we get a decent draw on that. Don't need to be too busy with signing players and stuff, because like the core of the team's just there, and there's not really anything that I'm considering like a weak spot in the team. And it might be once we get around to kind of January time again, can hopefully get some people in on frees. There's no point spending money just for the sake of it. Like, although I'm bringing in a few young players here, just to get training in the reserves and kind of develop them for future. And I'm just going for the ones that are where the clubs are accepting the bids for what they're actually worth. I'm not going to go over the odds for any of these guys, because it's just kind of beefing up my youth squad. They're all 21 or under. I don't mind paying a wee bit extra for him. So yeah, just a couple of like first team signings, really. Like, he's not happy to come in as a youth player, so that's not going to work. This guy becomes a good centre half later on, so happy to have hold of him, and we can train him up for the first team in a few years' time. So I've got the Charity Shield against Liverpool coming up here on the 10th. And maybe just play through the first few games on the league as well in this video. So yeah, so I don't have enough spaces at the club now, so it's probably worthwhile I just kind of clear out anybody that I can. Yeah. Now they're kind of... Aye, so I'm not going to be able to bring in anybody else then. Oh, this guy's a coach, that's why I was saying that. I can't bring any more coaches in. So yeah, get rid of him there. And Jepson. So yeah, I wanted to bring him in as a coach for my strikers. So put him there. And we'll get rid of this guy. So aye, pretty happy there with the way I'm getting the coaches together. My assistant manager's also been doing well. He's a good goalie coach. Yeah, so they're all looking pretty good there. Might need to look at getting another one that specialises in fitness. So I'm just looking for ones where they're like ratings are really good, which ironically will maybe mean bringing in a scout. Yeah, like he's decent. So I can bring him in as a coach because he specialises in fitness. In fact, I'll go to for here because it's at 19 and 20. Yeah, that guy will do. And then I'll get my young players that I've brought in, just get them into the general training schedule. So that just kind of beefs up the backup team a wee bit. So yeah, not really going to do much else in transfers now, unless I get somebody coming in for one of my players with a stupid offer. And then we've got some options there. So this Sagara guy is going to get his debut quicker than I thought. And we've got London ready to come in. His value must be going up. He's up at 9.25 million now, so he had a really good season last year. Yeah, we'll need to go with Jeremy's captain because both my African defenders are out, so that's not ideal, but here we are, Charity Shield. So looking pretty tidy here in the first game. Kind of glad I've kept hold of that Dutch defender Reed, because that defence was really solid last year, pretty settled in. Like, if I did sell Said or Okoronkwo, I wouldn't be able to bring in anybody better, so it's pointless. Until they get to sort of 31, there's no point selling them really. And I don't really need money now. Money's just going to keep going up every year because I'm not going to be doing a ridiculous spend like I had to do for the first year in the Premier League. But the value shift on this guy is just insane because he was like bought for 250,000, so. And that's a proper classy win there, 3-0. So yeah, currently got all the trophies in England sitting in Nottingham. And then that guy's going to come in as my fitness coach, so Martin Scott we'll have to let him go. Yeah, he's alright as well, so that's fine that's my coach's set up for the season, then I'll see how we get on with that. Yeah, so still got a wee bit of a short list here. I'm just waiting to see. Sometimes these players will like sign new contracts and end up with like minimum release fees. This guy Dawson that I'm keeping an eye on soon as he signs a new contract, I'll probably go in for him. And a few of them are starting to run out of contract in the summer as well, so it's definitely a time to go for a few of these guys. So we're away to Derby for the first game in the new league season. Yeah, don't think I need to make any changes here. Still got a few injuries and suspensions there, so hoping for a win here. Yeah, didn't get that many goals out of Kvadas last year. He did have a few spells of injury, but did he get 11 and 43? Not great, but his ratings have been good, so he's probably been chipping in there. And if you're getting 40 goals from your attacking midfielder, it doesn't really matter too much. Looking like they're solid fitness-wise now as well. Although they're back to 3-2. A wee hat trick there. Yeah, so I'll definitely be expecting to be up there in the league again, because it's basically the same team. If anything, it's improved with Hersey. He'll really be a quality player. And I've got a settled kind of striking partnership up front where they're both still fairly young, 26. Their values will just keep going up. 25, so yeah, loads of good potential there. 10 out of 10 for London as well, so he's starting to really look quality. So I've got West Ham, then away to Leeds, and then hopefully I'll be able to see the draw for the European games, and then I'll cut this video and come back at a later point. So I think it worked out better than the second season. I think I only done 5 videos against something like 15 the first season, so it's too many to expect people to sit and look through. I mean, obviously, if you're playing this game and you want to see good players to bring in and things like that, and because I don't change my tactics, so there's not much else I can tell you other than kind of use that one because it is quality. So I can give for Okoronkwo my captaincy back there. And we'll see how we got on against West Ham. Turned these over last year, back both games I think, so they're not really great. They have got a few good players, like they start off with Joe Cole and Jermaine Defoe and Carrick I think, so they're pretty decent, but sometimes they do struggle a bit. Yeah, looking solid, like going in at half time and the conditions all pretty good. Which I'm glad of that, because I'll need players to be good levels of fitness and strength and stuff when we get to fixture congestion with the European games. Although West Ham's coming back at me here. Try something different up front there. Oh, disallowed. So yeah, this is a skin of the teeth job by the looks of it. So I ended up pretty comfortable, but still. Missing side at the back. So yeah, if I can start off with 3 wins, that would be great. But we've got away to Leeds here, which, given the way the league ended up last year, this will potentially be the hardest league fixture, one of the hardest league fixtures that I'll have. So anything for this is decent. Oh yeah, and I've got the Champions League's being drawn now, or Champions Cup as it's called here. So that's a pretty good group to get through. Kiev and Monaco shouldn't be too much to handle, and it'll be good. So yeah, first or second you go through. If you finish third, I think you drop into the UEFA Cup. So I'd want that bare minimum, like. So that's a pretty good draw there. And I'll probably just let this game go into the next one. I'll play the Monaco game just so you can get to see like the first European game. So we went from 18 million in debt to the Champions League in just over 2 seasons, which is pretty good. And I've got Said back from injury there. Suspension. Sorry. So aye, that's looking pretty solid there. Let's see how we got on here. And like I said in earlier videos, I mean, Leeds did have a really good team at this time, especially up front. Harry Kewell and Mark Vidic, the 2 Australian guys, are good. And they do have a few good defenders as well, actually. Ferdinand, Woodgate's good in this game. A lot of the time Ferdinand they'll move on to a big Italian team or a Spanish team, but I think they've still got him there. Yeah, got the first goal there, a good sign. Is Nicky Franco going to end up scoring more this year than last? He's looking some start 6-3. So yeah, there's not much that you can look at in my first 11 now and say that needs to be improved, which is good. Although the first thing Hersey's done here of note is get a red card. So that's not great. And they're back to 2-2. Oh yeah, Robbie Keane, I forgot that he was there as well. So yeah, like I say, they have got a good team, Ferdinand. And it looks like they've got the momentum here, Mead being down to 10 men, so I think this one's going to stay as it is. Or they might even get another goal. Wow, that could be a really, really big goal there for Frika, because take a point away to Leeds all day, considering. And he's already gone to the Swedish national team. Another one that I picked up for next to nothing there. But disappointing to see this guy get a red card. Actually wonder what it was based on. Pushed Bowyer, aye. Ah well, who wouldn't push Lee Bowyer? Can't really blame him for that, but so yeah, this video's probably went a wee bit over on the 20 minutes that I've been trying to aim for, but just going to play it through this Champions League game. I'll need to register. It's 25 players that you can register actually, so still haven't managed to get any interest in Angel Lewis here, so kind of thought he would get snapped up. So I'm wondering if I should just put him back in. You know what, I think I will do that. Yeah, I'll put him back into the fold because I can always try and sell him again sort of January time, and although you know what, I will just take that. It's just over what I paid for him in. Right, Mallorca, I don't think so. I have got plenty in. Right, so you can put in 25 players for European squad. So I'll usually have 24 that are in my first team, and then I'll just usually put in an extra goalkeeper, just in case like there's injuries or anything. So that's 24, and then this guy 25. So a young keeper who's already getting into the Swedish national team there. So that's my 25 for Europe. So yeah, I'm going to just let Angel Lewis go. The one he'll just sit on the reserves, and his value will just keep going down. So let him go to that Spanish team. Although that's not to the 15th of December, so I might get more money for him before then. No point like just letting him go for that with all that time to spare. So the Spanish transfer window must shut earlier. Aye, so looking at we'll be at full strength for this Monaco game. And this video is probably going to go about half hour, so we'll definitely wrap it up after this one. But yeah, pretty good start to the season there. The late goal against Leeds could be a big one, because chances are there'll be one of the teams chasing me again. Chelsea started well there. I say chasing me, presuming that I'll be top of the league. That's not necessarily the case. So Monaco on the 10th here. At Dynamo Kiev, that'll be an easy enough game at home. I wanted to check actually. So we had the home game against West Ham. Yeah, so 40,000, filling out the stadium pretty well. So there's every chance again if I've got money, which if I get on a Champions League run, the money will just start coming in. Can probably ask for another extension on the ground again. So yeah, we've got McCann back there. So yeah, pretty much at full strength for this one. So let's see the Champions League debut against Monaco. This is another thing that really starts to put player values through. If they're getting good performances in the European games, then it'll really, their values will go up that bit more again. They tend to max out at about 20 millions, like the most expensive players I can remember, like guys like Brazilian Ronaldo and that kind of thing. But sending off isn't ideal. Yeah. He looks like the odd wee red card, that Saeed guy, as good as he is. Hopefully we can hold out on this one. So maybe make a couple of changes here. Another yellow card. So yeah, picking up yellows, which would rather not. And they've got back in, so this could be a disaster actually. That's a draw we feel home, it's not bad, but that was a sending off I'd rather not have had. Just try to see if it was anything ridiculous. Second yellow, fair enough. Yeah, so that's a half decent start to the season there. Two draws, but they were both pretty tricky games, so not too shabby really, to be fair. So what we'll do is I'll kind of come back later on in the season, maybe just let you see how we've got on with that Champions League group, and then when the second part gets drawn. So yeah, thanks for watching, and catch you later.